Good evening, Glitter Gang. It's Thursday, May 7th, and it's 9 o'clock, and we are gonna finish this album. So, what we did this afternoon was we matted everything. So, we've got the paper down, and it's ready for inserts. We just have to do a little decorating here. To cover these magnets, because of course we had all that snap drama where I decided to like destroy my snap tool. You can actually see all its little guts right here. So we definitely had a real interesting end to the show there. Yeah, so this is what it looks like. This is the Project X Folio. And believe in the whimsy and wonder. Flip up, and then let's see. This is the pocket, and this is a full pocket. Divided pocket, full pocket, divided, divided. So that is what we're going to be working on tonight. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to work on some inserts, I think. So we'll do some inserts. Let's think of some things that we can stick in the book. So I'm going to start here, and I think what we'll try to do is we'll try to make tabbed Polaroids. So let's use a frame punch, and let's try to make tabbed Polaroids, and that'll be fun. So, all right, here's the So there's the frame punch, and we need black cardstock. Let's 5x7 pinwheel a sheet, and that way we can make 4 of them. That's probably gonna be big enough. 5x7 will probably be big enough. Oh, well, if we make them front to back, well, whatever. To make a 5x7 pinwheel, you put your cardstock at 5 inches and you cut up to 5 inches. So that makes a little slit. Turn it once, put it back at 5 inches, and cut back up to 5 inches. And a 5x7 mat comes off. Turn it again, put it back at 5 inches, cut up to 5 inches. Another mat comes off. Turn it again, put it back at 5 inches, cut all the way up, and you get the last 2 mats. All right, so now we're gonna have to math it up. All right, so math. All right. So if we want our opening to be 5 3/4 by 3 3/4. Then you can put a 4x6 photo behind it. We want 1/4 of an inch all the way around. So on the 2 left sides, we want 1 inch down here, and then up here, this has to be 1/4 of an inch plus 3/8 of an inch. So 3/8 of an inch. Okay, so 3/8 of an inch at the top, or plus 1/4 of an inch. That's the top, so 5/8. Plus 1 inch at the bottom, plus 3 3/4, and hopefully this whole thing will be less than 5. Oh, 5 3/8. Darn it. Darn it. All right, well, we can't 5x7 pinwheel these because they need to be something by 5 3/8. So they're gonna have to be a different way. So all right, fine then. Fine. Well, let's finish the math. So they're 5 3/8, something by 5 3/8. So it's actually 3 3/4 plus 1/4 is 4. Excuse me, 5 3/4 plus 1/4 is 6, plus another quarter is 6 1/4. So they're 5 3/8 by 6 1/4. So we can do 5 1/2 by 6 1/2 pinwheel, because you can do any pinwheel as long as the two measurements are less than 12 inches or equal to 12 inches. So we're going to do 5 1/2 by 6 1/2 pinwheel. And the directions are basically the same as a 5x7 pinwheel, except instead of doing 5, we do 5 1/2. So put it at 5 1/2, cut to 5 1/2, turn it, put it at 5 1/2, cut to 5 1/2, turn it, put it at 5 1/2, cut to 5 1/2, turn it, put it at 5 1/2, cut to 5 1/2. All right, so now we have 5 1/2 by 6 1/2 inch pieces. We're going to cut them to 5 3/8 by 6 1/2. Right? Yes, 5 3/8 by 6 1/4 is what they become. All right, cool. All right. So I've now cut these down to 5 3/8 by 6 1/4. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get the frame punch board, no, the envelope punch board, and we're going to put tabs on them. And let's do 2 1/2 inch tabs. So I'm going to punch at 2 1/2 and at what I call 0, which is the end. And that's where I'm going to cut them, cut them all. And 0 is just centered on the cutting hole. All right. Now, I'm going to get the Fiskars trimmer back. And we're just going to put these at 5 and cut. Dun, da, da, da. All right. So now we've got tabs on them. We're going to frame them. So I'm going to put one of these at 1/4 inch and one of these at 1 inch. And it's actually the top one that needs to be at 1 inch and the side one that needs to be at 1/4 of an inch. And then you put it in tab down and then punch, flip it over, still tab down, and punch. All right, now I need them to be at 1/4 inch and 1/4 inch so I can do this corner. And then this one we're gonna have to do by hand, I think. Because the tab is 3/8, so the tab's not, there's no measurement we can do on the tab side that will work. All right, so what we're gonna have to do is figure out how we're gonna do that, and the way we're gonna do it is we're gonna take 2 and sandwich them like this so we can trace. I'm just gonna use a pencil. And I'm going to do both sides. Both sides again. And we've made yet another cool. Okay. So now we have to punch a hole in the corner of this. We're done with the frame punch board. I'm gonna get the big bite. I'm gonna put it on the 3/8 inch or the 3/16, and just as carefully as I can, I'm going to punch a hole right in that upper corner. All right, I'm gonna put the big bite away. And I was wrong, we need the frame punch board back. So I'm gonna put it at 1 inch and we'll do all the 1 inch sides. That other punch board was the envelope punch board. All right, and now we're gonna put them at 1/4 and we'll do the other sides. And the final corner, I'm probably gonna have to do this top corner. Again, I'm gonna have to do it by hand. In the Fiskars trimmer. Now, I'm sure you could use the tab punch board to do what I did with the envelope punch board. I don't have it, but it sounds like that's what it's made for. So I doubt you need the envelope punch board to get this look. You could probably get a very similar look if you have the tab punch board. Okay. Alrighty, so now I'm going to get my Fiskars trimmer back and cut that last little strip. And there we go. Ta-da! So we have yet another frame here that we adaptation from the board. So there we go. All right. I've got a little shred here. I'm just going to pull it off. Okay. My go-to colors of cardstock, the colors I think everyone, that if you have these 5 colors, you can make any album with any paper line, are white, some kind of off-white or cream, just something that's not white, craft, dark brown, and black. All right, so white, off-white, natural, cream, just it can be any shade, ivory, whatever, like more yellow, less yellow, as long as it's not white is all that matters. Black, craft, and dark brown. Those are the 5 colors. If you have those 5 colors, you can work with any paper, I promise. Any paper line. But there are other colors I like, and then you might just know from your own crafting that you gravitate towards certain kinds of combinations. You know what I mean? You're welcome. So like, you know, maybe your favorite color is red and you use a lot of red, then you might want to get red too. You know what I mean? Or flag blue, if that's, or flag blue, which I mean, I'm just saying. Okay, so now we're gonna frame these, turn them into frames. So I need 4 photo mats. 1, 2, 3, 4. But yeah, the colors, you know, that I've used the most are those, pretty much. These are 5 3/8 by 6 1/4. So like Gretchen's saying that she feels like green makes a nice backdrop for a lot of the paper collections that she gravitates towards. And that's what I mean. So you may find, you know, that there's some colors that work better than others, you know. All right, so obviously I should have just punched these before, or taped these before I punched them, but here we are. You know what I always say, do it as I say and not as I do. So Bev says, I have the tab punch board, but I think your way is easier. I never got the tab punch board because I have the, I find it so easy to make tabs with the envelope board. I just never felt the need to get it. And I do have a really great tab punch for any projects where the so now I did those two where the tab is on the left. I'm going to do the next two where the tab is on the right, so that they go, you know, in opposite directions, and we can put one in each pocket. One of each kind in each pocket. So and then we'll cover the backs. Once we've got the photos in there, I'm going to put pattern paper on the backs, and then we'll cover them, and then we'll put a journaling spot on the back. Or you could put another photo mat on the back, you know, whatever. If you don't journal and you don't need a journaling spot, you can put another photo mat. But I am loving this tabbed framed Polaroid. How many other Polaroids am I going to come up with? That's the real question. And can we ever have too many Polaroids is the other question. But I think we're just going to say the answer to that is no. No, you can't have too many Polaroids. That's insane. Hi, Kathy. I used your paper in my NSD project. Here, let me finish taping this and then I'll show you. We just finished matting it this afternoon. But we use Remember the Magic. So here it is. So tonight we're working on some inserts and decorating to finish it off. But it's cute. It's really cute. And everyone was really happy that they were able to get it on sale because of your National Scrapbook Day sale. So it worked out great. Worked out great. All right, so now we're going to take our cardstock, and I'm going to place the cardstock so I can see like a sliver of the black on the top and on the side, and I'm going to have to trim it on the right, I think, just because my cardstock's 6 1/4 by 4 1/4, but we'll be all right. We're working on the inserts for the National Scrapbook Day Folio. So I'm gonna right now we've just made tabbed Polaroids with the not the tab punch board, the envelope board, and to put in some of the pockets, and then we're gonna have to see what other inserts we can come up with. We're just having a kind of a chill National Scrapbook Day project here. Oh, this one is all shreddy. So, yeah. Thursday night show. We're being calm. We're having a good time. This afternoon, I got real mad at my snap setter and took it apart. Like, literally dismantled it on camera in a fit of rage. Oh, well, that was a disaster. So, yeah. So we're going to work on some inserts. What other kind of inserts? Should we try to make all the inserts Polaroid themed? That's a lot. Maybe we should just calm down. And by we, I mean you guys, because I'm totally calm. It's you guys that are going crazy. So I hopefully I won't have to take apart any more tools tonight, right? Maybe, hopefully it was just the one. You found my brainstorming fascinating. Bev's like, I'm not the one who tore up a tool. I'm just saying, look. I mean, the good news is we were able to figure out how the machine worked. And now, if we wanted to, we could probably figure out a way to make a long reach one. So, we'll see. Maybe we will. I did get an email that I just saw. Oh, by the way, the SVGs for Project X are in the folder, so they're all in there now. So thanks to Barbara Jean for that. But I did get a request of, you know, could I take some of the cardstock I ordered and make swatch books for people to have at home to sell in the shop, since I just ordered all the cardstock. So the real question is, who wants a swatch book to the Color Mates cardstock? Because unfortunately they don't sell swatch books, so I'd have to make them. So they'd probably be sort of expensive as far as swatch books go, because I'd have to make them. So the labor cost would be intense. But because the materials are not expensive, but cutting them all up, and you would just get a bag of cardstock. You would not, it would not be an actual swatch book. You would have to make it a swatch book yourself. I was thinking like 4x4, somewhere in there. All right, let's get some pattern paper. We're going to cover the backs of these with pattern paper now. So, and then we can put, we can put our autograph cards on the backs. The autograph cards. That's what we can do. Yes. We will do that. All right. Yeah, some size that we could either, basically something that would come. I'm not going to take apart my previous swatch book. I'm going to, here, I'll show you guys a trick about coil bindings. I'm going to like blow some minds right now. All right. When you have a coil binding like this and you want to move pages around, all you have to do is cut in between the coils like this. And I'll show you what this does. So you cut in between the coils. All right. And then, ready? It comes right out, okay, without tearing. And then, if you want to put it back in, you just press in between the rings. And it goes right back in and it stays in there. All right. So anything that you've bound with a coil like this, you can add pages to. All you have to do is cut them before they go in the book. Now, what I don't know is what Jill's asking, which is the coil large enough to add all the cardstock you just bought? I don't know. I hope so. It may have a gator mouth. It may have a gator mouth. Okay, look. Let's get serious. Let's use this one. Ooh, or should we use, look, we're gonna use the castle. We're gonna use the castle and whatever's on the back of this. So that's 1, 2. We need 4. 3, 4. Or, oh wait, no. If we use these, then I won't want to cover them up with cards. Oh well. We'll just have to figure something out. I got an idea. We'll use that one. One there. 1, 2. I'm running low, but we've got 2 projects out of this. So good job to us. Good job to us. All right. So, okay. Now we know we need to cut these to what? What did I do before? 5.5 by 6.5. So I'm going to put them at 5.5. No, this one I need to put at 6.5. Put it at 6.5. And then cut up to 5.5. Well, whatever. It'll just have a slit in it. Then I'm going to put it at 5.5 and cut up to the line that I cut. So I have 1. This one will do 6.5. And then 5.5. So that's 2. This one I'm going to cut down, even though, you know, I always say don't cut down. I mean, sometimes it's just easier. So in this instance, you can. Four. And then I just glued them. Ugh, so annoying. All right. You know how it is. All right. So 5.5. All right. Today. So we've got those. Now we're going to stick them, you know, to the backs of this. So the easiest thing to do is going to be to, if I want to do something fancy with them, we're going to have to do it now. So I'm going to use 2-inch tape, and I'm going to cover the entire back. And that'll give us options. Or not the entire back, but the top and the bottom. What the heck? Where's my, oh, here it is. I'm going to do the top and the bottom. And then I'll come back and get that middle later. What about the 3/8 inch that I cut off the top? Yes, I cut, these are all gonna are all cut so that I can put the bottom corner down and they will work. So they're all good. And you'll see. Okay, so what do we want to do? All right. So I'm going to put the 2-inch tape down, and then I'm just going to fill in the middle with 1-inch tape because I don't have enough room for another line of 2-inch tape, and then that'll be good enough. We'll call it good enough. And there's a couple things we could do here. One is you could cut around the images so that you can tuck your signature cards, your autograph cards behind the images. You could use paper clips so that the signature cards are paper clipped to the cards so that you can, you know, see both sides of the signature card. What's on the back of the signature cards? Is it pattern paper? I like how I'm asking you guys, even though it's here, you know, they're in the same room as I am. I could just look. But I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna, you know, I'm just gonna use a paper clip because otherwise this will take 5 million years. Laziness will prevail tonight. Laziness will prevail. All right, so we want to, when we pick designs, make sure our designs are, this design is more on the right, so I want to get one of the ones that's tabbed on the right, like that. I'm not going to ink the edges because we have to trim around these. I mean, I will eventually, but I'm going to set it down first. Okay. And then we're going to use our craft knife to trim all the way around. Then we're going to round the corners, and then we're going to ink. Inky, inky. All right. And now I'm going to use the 1/4 inch. And we're going to do, you know, the 3 corners that aren't tabbed. And yay! Yay! How cute. How cute. You like my tiny glass cutting mat? It's a cheese board. It's a cheese board. All right, so all right, now gonna trim again. You're impressed that I still have the cap for my craft knife? I know, after how many years? I mean, my craft knife is disgusting, but I still have the cap. Is a glass cutting mat different than a piece of picture frame glass? I mean, the main thing that you would want in something to cut on is you would want, what the heck? All right. Okay. So the main thing that you would want with a glass cutting mat is you would want it to be made out of tempered glass, and you would want it to have a beveled edge. And once you have those two things, it doesn't matter what it is. So you know what I mean? So if it's a cheese board or a glass like cutting board for the kitchen, or whatever, it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be specifically a glass mat made for crafting. But you would want it to be tempered glass and have a beveled edge for safety reasons. And the tempered glass in particular, so that if it falls, it will break into small pieces that are not shards. You know, you don't want anything that's going to break into shards for safety reasons. So any tempered, do I find it better than a self-healing mat? Depends on what you're doing, but generally speaking, for any kind of precise or detailed cutting, I find it better. And the reason why is because when you cut into your self-healing mat, you make a cut or a wound in the mat every time. And so some of your energy is going into the mat where you're making that slice into the mat. And then because you're pressing through the paper into a mat, you're rolling the edges of the paper too. So what happens is you roll the edges of what you're cutting away from the knife blade, which doesn't always matter, but sometimes it does. So if you're gonna be like, so if I'm just cutting in a straight line with the rotary trimmer, I want the self-healing mat because I have the added space. But any type of cutting where I have to be precise or detailed, I will use the glass mat because I don't lose energy by cutting into the mat. So I'm able to be more precise, and I don't roll the edges of my paper, so I get a cleaner, sharper edge. You mean there are people who drop and break their tools? No way, I know. I've broken a glass cutting mat before, and luckily it was tempered, so it just, you know, I was able to just sweep the pieces off my desk into a trash can. All right, so last little bit here. Now that we've chomped all the corners, we're gonna go ahead and you broke a We Are Memory Keepers corner punch. That is sad. That is sad, because those are not cheap. All right, so now we're gonna ink them, but this is what they look like on the back. So they're very cute. Tiny cat. Are you gonna say hi? Or are you in a feisty mood? She's like, I'm in a feisty mood. I broke it with my heat gun, yes. It overheated and exploded. Yes, now we can ink. Exactly. Tiny, come say hi. Oh, wow. She's like crouched like a little gargoyle on my pegboard boxes. She actually really likes to sleep on the top of those boxes. So it's kind of her spot. Cute, 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 cute. Okay. Now, so we've got that. Got our, so we're going to do one of each in each of the pockets. And now we're going to go get some of these autograph cards. So all right. So I'm going to cut these apart. They have gold hearts on the back. It's very cute, actually. And I'm just going to use scissors. Of course, you could use a paper trimmer. You don't have to be as lazy as I am. Am I all moved in and comfy with how it came together? Yeah, the only thing I still have left to do is I've decided I'm not going to do pegboard this time. Just because of, this room only has 2 walls. And so I don't have the same kind of wall space as I did before to have the pegboard up. There's a place where I can like make it work if I always want to be getting on and off my step stool, but I don't always want to be getting on and off my step stool. So I think what I'm going to do is I have a half wall that I can put like an IKEA 4x2 cube unit in front of. And and then that'll give me 8 more bins and anything that was on the pegboard, you know. Is this broken? What on earth? All right, well, it's fixed now. But it was briefly broken. Renee cursed me. Renee cursed me. No. Maybe it needs emptying. Not my We Are Memory Keepers Corner Chomper. I never use it hardly at all. Oh, Tiny's asleep on my stack of black cardstock. She's totally asleep, but she's practically invisible. What am I doing with this stuff I normally keep on the board? I'm going to get bins to store, because the main thing I keep on my board is dies, and I can store those in those bins, those movie bins. So I can just get more movie bins and put them in those. All right, so, and then what we'll do is when we put them on, you know, we'll just put a little paper clip on them, and that'll be cute. So we thought about a gondola for the pegboard. That's one of the things we considered, which is it's like a thing that sits on the floor and makes a false wall that you can then put slapboard or pegboard on. So we thought about using a gondola, but they are expensive and heavy because you have to put, you know, you just display stuff on the pegboard, and so, you know, you have to, with whatever holds the pegboard has to be so sturdy, because what goes on the pegboard weighs so much, so the base has to weigh a lot, and usually things that are dense like that are very expensive. So like folding screens, like I think a folding screen would just fall over constantly, unless I was like super careful about balancing stuff on the front and the back and making sure the front and the back both weighed the same. And I just feel like that's a lot of drama when I can just get a bookshelf. And that was the same thing with the gondola. I was like, we can just get a bookshelf. It'll be cheaper. All right, that's done. Now I just have to remember where I put my paper clips. which I think is right here in this box labeled metal pieces. Look at that. It is right here in this box labeled metal pieces. I think I'll use silver paper clips because they're bigger instead of my mini paper clips. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to lay out the 4 backs and see which one will go with which. This one here, this one here, this one here, this one here. Look at that. No, I do not speak Spanish, unfortunately. All right, so we're gonna, like I said, I'm just gonna stick these on the backs. All right, so now we have 4 of these inserts to put in the book. And we can put them in, you know, wherever we want, whichever side we want. All right, there we go. Okay, so we've got those. Those are looking cute. Now we need to think about what's going to go in here. And I think what could go into these, if we wanted to keep the tabbed Polaroid frame, I think we could do tabbed Polaroid frames in these. So let's do that. Let's just keep the theme. Let's just beat the theme into the ground until we don't like it anymore. Let's do that. Let's go with that. Just say, hey, all right, let's think about, all right, so we've got, this time it's 5 3/4 this way, 3 3/4 this way, plus 1 1/4, plus 1 1/4, plus 1/4, plus 1/4, and then plus 1 inch and plus 5/8, right? So no, what's a quarter plus 3/8 is 5/8, right? No. Oh my gosh, why am I so bad at math? Yeah, it's 5. Okay, 5 3/4 plus an inch plus a quarter. Oops. Plus a quarter of an inch plus 3/8 of an inch. So it's 7 3/8. So it's 4 1/4 by 7 3/8. Okay, 4 1/4 by 7 3/8 means that we can do a 4 1/2 inch pinwheel. So look at that. We can do it. We can do it. We can do it. All right, Tiny Cat, you are sitting on my cardstock. So that's cool. I didn't want it anyways. So I guess you can just have it. So 4 1/2 inch pinwheel is the same as the 5 inch pinwheel. you put it at 4.5 and you cut up to 4.5. Turn it once, put it at 4.5, cut up to 4.5. 4.5 inch by 7.5 inch mat falls off. Turn it once, put it at 4.5, cut up to 4.5. 4.5 by 7.5 inch mat falls off. Turn it once, put it at 4.5, cut all the way to the top. You get your last 2 mats and then your discard square. And you can do this with any card size as long as the 2 sides of the card are 12 inches or less. So 5 by 7 is what we normally do, but you can do 4.5, 6.5, 4.5, 7.5, 5.5, 6.5, whatever. And it's a way to get 4 mats out of oh my gosh, whatever. 4 mats out of a 12 by 12. Oh, so bad at talking sometimes. Okay. So then I got to cut these down to 7 3/8 by 4 1/4. And this time we'll tape them to save a little time. All right, so I'm going to do 1/2 inch tape. I'm going to do, how do I want to do this? I'm going to do 1/2 inch tape all the way around, and then I'm going to have to add additional tape on the bottom because it needs to be, you know, slightly more than 1 inch. So let's make a tape bracelet chain. And I guess the top needs to be 2. Tiny Cat, don't you want to say hi to all your friends? Tiny Cat. She's like, no, I'm napping. Shush. Shush, she says shush. You don't think Tiny thinks we're friends? That's probably true. How are Kitty and Mittens? Kitty and Mittens, they had 2 fights last night. One was earlier in the evening and it was very half-hearted. And so we were like, maybe they're just going through the motions, you know, and they're becoming friends. But then at 1:30 in the morning, it was an all-out, like, murder party. So we do not think they are becoming friends. They are not becoming friends. Not happening. It is not happening. Tiny, your friends miss you. Your friends miss you. No, she doesn't care, guys. She does not care. Loud enough to wake me up. I was still awake. I was reading. I'm reading a book right now called The Deepest Blue, which is kind of hard to describe, but it's kind of like Island of Blue Dolphins vibes, if you remember reading that in school. but like also there's some political intrigue. It reminds me a little bit of the Snow Queen. All right, so now I'm going to cut these apart. Well, Mittens isn't our cat. So, you know, Mittens is like some neighborhood cat that comes around, and when the cats are out on the porch at night, it bothers them. So, I don't know if Mittens used to belong to the people who lived in this house and they abandoned it, or what the situation is with Mittens, but who knows. All right. So with this, we're going to do 2.5 and 0, 2 on the left, and then I'm going to do 2 on the right. So for the ones that I'm going to do on the other side, I just turn them over. Okay. So then just going to cut them. All right, so now that we've got the top trimmed, I'm going to get the frame punch board, and we're going to put this top piece at 1 inch and the side piece at 1/4 inch and punch, and then flip it over and punch, and punch, and flip it over and punch, and punch, and flip it over, and punch, and flip it over. Okay, then we move this top one down to 1/4 inch, and okay. So we're gonna have to do both the top pieces by hand. So that's okay. So you just take 2 tags and put them back to back like this, and then trace them. And then you flip it over and trace the other side. And then remember on Thursday, so now you have portrait tabbed Polaroids and you have landscape tabbed Polaroids. Next Thursday we're going to start the landscape catch a tag remastered, and the book club is announced, and it is double whammy. So unsurprisingly, with the popularity of Tiger King, the book of South Florida Whack Jobs won 2-1 over the next book selection. 2-1. So you are all still riding the Tiger King high. You are ready. You are like, more South Florida crazy people, please. More South Florida crazy people. I cannot get enough South Florida crazy people. So That's what we're doing. Fran refuses to watch Tiger King. I haven't seen it either, Fran. I have not seen it either. Netflix, it has really been trying to get me to watch it. Netflix is really like, you need to watch Tiger King. Everyone in America has already seen it. Good to see the Big Bite made it. The Big Bite is versatile. The Big Bite is a hammer, and the Big Bite is... Oh no! Alright, so now we need to cut. Oh no! What did I do? I punched this wrong. Oh, because it's a 1/4 inch down from the top. Okay. Oh dear. This is gonna be harder to do than I thought. Because we need to get this a 1/4 inch down. You know? 1/4 inch down from the top. So we need a stunt card is what we need. Look. Solved the problem already. Okay. So all we need is something that's the same size as this, which is what, 4 1/4? And we take the frame punch board and we punch the 2 corners. Sorry you guys had to see that murder of that fruit fly. But okay, so now I can mark at the top where we actually need it to be. Sorry. It had to die. I think he rode in on a mango. The fly was trespassing, so, you know. I was just going to say, this is a stand your ground state. Oh, gosh, Fran. The fly should have known. That there would be consequences. Okay. So now that I've made my little stunt 4 1/4 inch piece, now, yeah, the fly was not social distancing. Really, the fly was breaking all kinds of laws. Hi, Tiny. Hi. Look at that. Every magnet I own is stuck to the Big Bite. So Mr. Lifeguard and I did not figure out how to make a long-handled snap punch this afternoon, but that's because he's working till midnight. So, but I honestly think we can do it with like a couple pieces of wood. And, you know, by using what's left of the normal sized one, obviously, we're going to have to like do, you know. I don't know why Mr. Lifeguard's company doesn't realize that he needs to help us. I know, they just don't understand the needs of the crafting community. Oh, I didn't punch one of my corners. Oh no, yes I did. I just can't tell. His company has a new CEO because they just had to get a venture capital cash infusion, and one of the people who put up 50% of the money, like part of the deal was that they would be the new CEO for putting up 50% of the cash that they needed. So you always love when things are going so well that they have to get a new CEO. That's always great. Okay, so now I'm going to put it at 1 inch. And we'll just cut the bottoms. I mean, he gave them a big talk about how he wouldn't have pumped all this cash into the company if he thought the company should shut down, and obviously he like super believes in them and their mission, and of course everyone is just like, yeah, that's, yep, okay. Okay. And now we're cutting the tops out. Well, exactly, Jill. All right, almost done. Ooh, I don't even know what, I didn't even like line it up or anything. I was just like, yeah, I'll just willy-nilly, just cut wherever. I used the guinea pig piece, the stunt piece. That's how I got the, trace the tops. It got used. Okay, so we got this. We've got our 4 pieces now. So now we just need 4 more photo mats. And then, hi Tiny. Yeah, I came into your space. That's right. That's right. I'm right in your business. What are you going to do about it? Nothing. That's right. You're going to do nothing. Okay, so once again, I line it up so that two corners I can still see the black around the mat. That way I know I only have to trim one corner. So, whereas if I try to center it, then I might have to go cut it off two sides. All right, so now I'm gonna go trim all of them. And then we'll pick some pattern paper for the backs. And pick some card, these will go in pockets. All right, so now we've got the photo mats in. We just need to pick pattern paper for the back. So let's do it. Dun dun dun. Okay. So 4.5 by what? 7.5? What else have we got? Let's do this one. All right. Changes. Oh yeah, Jill's holding a grudge for sure. They're talking about the cricket in the chat, and Jill just mentioned that she, you know, she hasn't forgiven them for getting rid of the gypsy. She's never getting over it. Never. All right, so now I just need to put tape on the back of all of these. I'm going to put 1-inch tape across the tops. And then I'll just use that 1/2-inch tape I'm trying to get rid of everywhere else. Oh my goodness. Ugh, what in the... So good at tape, right? Thank you, Ella. Has my light... Look, the Scan and Cut and I... We're on a break right now. We're on a break. All right? I'm gonna be like, we were on a break. We're on a break. All right. And I don't need to put any tape on the bottom because I still have tape on the bottoms of these. So I'm just gonna put the 1/2-inch tape down the sides. And then we'll stick it all together. I don't even know where it is right now. Oh, it's in a corner. It's in a corner of the room. I didn't even, look, this is how low a priority it is. I didn't even make it a place to live in the new craft room. It's just lying on the floor right now. In the corner of shame. The poor Scan and Cut. Oh, I know. Its life is so hard. Maybe if the Scan and Cut wanted people to love it, it shouldn't have sucked. You know? Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it shouldn't have sucked. And then if it had just worked, then maybe it would get its own shelf. But it doesn't. The digital paper printer has its own shelf. There are people that love their Scan and Cut. Do they drink a lot? I mean, I'm just asking. It's in the naughty corner. Which one works better? The photo printer. The digital paper printer works 1,000% better than the Scan and Cut. Although, I mean, to be fair to the Scan and Cut, which I don't think we need to because it's a product that doesn't work as advertised, but if we felt like being fair to it, what I would say is that, you know, the photo printer costs a lot more. A lot, like 4 times the price? So 5 times the price? What's a Scan and Cut cost? Yeah, the photo printer, I mean, 300. All right, so it's between 3 and 4 times the price. Oh, you mean between Scan and Cut type product? Oh, between Scan and Cut type products, probably I would say the Silhouette probably works better because the the scanning eye. The print to scan, scan to print, whatever, print to cut. I don't know. I don't know. Look, I'm not a cutting machine scientist, but I don't think the Brother works the best of anything. It makes me So sad. I have in my, on my crafty, like to buy list, if it's on sale, I have some kind of cricket on there and some kind of, silhouette. 4? I don't know what kind of cricket though. I would give up crafting if machines were the only way to craft. Me too. Me too. And Barbara Jean's like, but that's my favorite way to craft. And we love that about you, Barbara Jean. We do. We do. The maker? Maybe. But yeah, I think that the person asked for, oh my gosh, stop scratching me. What's wrong with you? The person asked about, like, if you're only going to get one machine, what machine should you get? Is just ask Barbara Jean and see what she says. I think she'll tell us to buy the silhouette though. Yeah, Barbara Jean, she knows. She has all of them, I think. So she can tell us. Which ones are the winners? My big problem with the silhouette, I have a problem with every single machine that exists. My big problem with the silhouette is the pressure. I want a machine with a lot of pressure, and it's kind of wimpy. I had my eye for a number of years on the Click and Cut Zing, I think, because it had enough pressure to cut medium weight chipboard. Because I want something that can like really cut chipboard. And a friend of mine was like, just get a laser cutter, and I'm like, yes, that's what I'll do. They're only like $12,000. It's fine. We don't need to eat or pay rent or any of that. Barbara Jean has a laser cutter. So does Monica if you're in Canada. You can pay her, I think, to cut you custom stuff. She cut me my marker holder. And she's opening a store once we're allowed to leave our houses again. So, but yeah, Monica makes cool stuff. All right, so I've trimmed all these. Now we're going to chomp the corners and ink them. And then we can stick these in the pockets. Hopefully they'll fit. Wouldn't it be cool if they didn't fit? That would be great because I didn't measure. That would be awesome. We need to put journaling spots on the back with them. All right, let's get the book. Okay. So we made them to go in here. Okay, they are gonna fit. So no need to panic. Ta-da! Ah, all right, look how fun. Yay! Okay. All right, so those go in the X. I know. You could put journaling spots on the back of them like these. The Project Life cards would work really, really well on the back of them. Or you could just put another photo back there. But see, the Project Life card would fit perfectly if you wanted it. All right, let me just put those on there. Let's not be lazy. Ugh. Let's not be lazy, Kathryn. Just do your work. All right. And then the same size things could also go in the pocket behind. I would just maybe flip the direction of the tabs so that you do like this. So you do tab on the outside on the front, on the inside on the back. I lost one. Seriously? Oh, it's right here. Durr. Okay. Like this. So that, you know, you get the two tabs in different directions. But the same exact tabbed Polaroid can go in the pocket behind the X as well as the pocket in front of the X. Or as well as the front, the X pocket itself. And then we just need something to go in this big pocket back here. So, let's think. We take the Polaroids to their extremes. We could do, yeah, Project Life cards are 4x6. So they're very similar in size to the photo mats. Should we do a double tabbed Polaroid? I don't know if we have the size for it, but I'm gonna think about it. I don't know if we have enough room to do 2 photos, but I do have an idea for what we could do. All right. So I'm gonna put these photo mats on the back of these and put those in the pockets. We're just not gonna worry about this one over here because we need to make 4 more of these, and it's more like you get the idea, you know. You get the idea. You're smart cookies. Hey, Tiny. Are you sure you don't want to come and say hi, Tiny Cat? You have a lot of fans. You have a lot of fans. They just want to see you. Give Tiny some tape backing. I mean, she does love tape backing, but there's been plenty on my desk and she hasn't even cared. She's not even looking at me. Even though I'm talking to her, she's just ignoring me. Because I'm boring. Just a dumb, boring human. I must have done something she didn't like. Well, earlier she was crying a lot and I was making dinner, so I didn't immediately drop everything I was doing and give her pets. So I'm probably being punished for that. Tiny. See, that is why. Yeah, I mean, that's got to be it. You know, my mistake, of course. Totally my fault. What was I thinking? Seeing to my own needs when Tiny wanted a pet. Priorities. I know. My priorities are so messed up. It's true. Okay. Let's do some math and see if we can make a double Polaroid. Okay. Math. All right. So we have what? Like 8.5 by 11-ish to work with. Not quite. So let's just call it 8 by 10. All right, so if it's 8 by 10, we can get one 4 by 6. How would we need to get? If we made it 8 1/4, we could get two 4 by 6s like this. And then over here, we would have some other sized window. So let's make it 8 1/4 by 10. We'll make it by 8 1/4 plus to make a tab, we'd have to make it 8 1/4 plus 3/8. 8 1/4 plus 3/8 by 10. Is that 8 3/8? Let's get the fraction calculator. All right, 8 1/4 plus 3/8. 8 5/8. 8 5/8 by 10. Oh, hello, tiny cat. Are you stretching? You're stretching. Oh, are you gonna come say hi? Are you gonna come say hi? Oh, you're blepping. That's very cute. Can you come over here? Can you come over here, please? Thank you. Thank you. Oh, look who's here. Meow. Meow. There you go. There you go. Meh. Even her cries and meows are tiny. Yes, everything about you is tiny. Oh. Oh. Hi. She doesn't need a big voice to get what she wants. That's true. Hello. Hello. Thank you for visiting. Thank you. Everyone appreciates seeing your tiny little face. Oh, yes, you're so cute. You can be so cute when you want to. Oh, flop. She's flopped. Look at you. Yes. The cardstock is for me. I had a request to order the other colors to make the swatch book, so I did. All right, Tiny Cat. Thanks for your visit. Uh-oh. Kitty. Hi. There's a kitty now. Hello. Hello, kitty. All right. So we have hi, Tiny Cat. Ooh, kitty. Kitty's jumping. All right, can you go now? I know I asked you to come over here, but now we need to work. She's so mean. That's so mean. Okay, you want to go fight Kitty? You want to go fight Kitty? Oh. Oh, hey, Kitty. You lounging? Tiny. All right, can you go back on your perch? Can you go back on your perch now, please? What if I put this box lid on top of your perch? Will you go sit in it? No. She's not gonna go. She's not gonna go. We may have made a mistake luring her onto the desk. Oh, Kitty's running. You wanna go chase her? Chasey, Chasey. Chasey the kitty. You wanna chase the kitty? No? Okay, I'm gonna pick you up and put you in the box lid. Oh, you looked at everyone. That was very nice. Wow. Okay, come on. There you go. All right. All right, so now let's put tape. And let's see what we can turn this into. Now she's in her box lid. All right, so I'm gonna put an inch of tape at the top, 1/2 inch tape all the rest of the way around, and then we're gonna see what we can do. All right. So what we're gonna do is with the envelope punch board, let's put a 2.5 inch tab on either end. All right. So that it's double tabbed. Okay. We could get one in the middle. I'm just gonna have to, let's see, let's do some math. This is 10.5 inches. So I'm just gonna eyeball, I'm gonna find the center and punch 1.25 inches on either side of the center. And that'll make a 2.5 inch tab in the middle. So I'm gonna put this at 1.25. And how am I gonna get the other half? Well, that's easy. Just mark where 1.25 is on the other side and just punch it. All right, so it'll have 3 tabs. All right. So I'm gonna cut those 2. All right, here we go. So now we've got the 3 tabs. I know, we are getting fancy. And then I'm gonna use one of my 5x7 pieces. I'm gonna cut it to 4.25 by 6.25, and we're gonna use this as a stunt piece. All right. So I'm gonna punch its 4 corners. All right. And then we're going to take our little stunt piece here. Line it up in the bottom corner. Well, I mean, the very bottom corners can be chomped. But that's about it. Okay. All right, so we're going to line that up and trace the other 3 corners. And then hopefully our math is correct, and yes, it is. So then we're going to line it up with the top and trace another one. Okay. And then this one will line up with the top as well. I'm going to trace this corner. And then this one, we're going to line it up with the top. and with these ones that I just traced. So you can see it's right up against them to trace at the top. And then same deal, gonna line it up with the bottom and trace. And I'll hold it up so that you can see the reflection, so you can see where they all are. Okay, so we're gonna have 4x6, 4x6, and then this. Honestly, we can get a 4x6 on this other side. All right, hold up, I'm gonna make some changes. And we'll get 3 4x6s on this. Okay. So the last piece is just how we're going to do this bottom. So I'm going to line this up. It's going to make a journaling spot. All right. So now we're going to get the big bite again. Changes. Hi, Tiny Cat. Do you like your box lid? We're going to punch all the holes, all the corners with the big bite. Oh my gosh, yes, I heard it was supposed to snow. Like there's a polar vortex and it's gonna snow. The question is, will it be cold enough to kill the murder hornets? Oops. Okay. So one mistake I made is I cut all the way through. Obviously you don't want to do that. You want to, you know, separate. You need to leave this little 1/4 inch right there. But that's okay. That's okay. Yeah, you want to cut from hole to hole. Okay. Now just take your time to cut all these, you know, little areas. And they're gonna start popping out. All right, and it's gonna start looking pretty cool. All right. Here it is. Ah, it's really cute. Look at it. Be amazed by its cuteness. It's almost as cute as Tiny Cat, right? No, she's offended. Oh my gosh. Wow. She is very offended. Very offended. Hi. Hi, let me give you a pet. There you go. There you go. Yeah, you're okay. Okay, thank you for licking me. Okay. All right, so now I'm just gonna put some tape down the middle. Nothing is as cute as Tiny Cat. I'm sure Tiny Cat agrees with that statement. I'm sure Tiny Cat is like, nothing is as cute as me. I'm the cutest. This started at 8 5/8 by 10 and a half. Actually, yeah, it's 10 and a half. Ideally, if you don't want this middle piece to be as wide as it is, make it 10 1/4. So if you do 8, because it's 10 and a half, right? Yes, 10 and a half. So make it 10 1/4. So 10 1/4 by 8 5/8. Did the magic mirror tell her that? Who's the cutest of them all? All right. So let's finish this and then I think we'll call it on this project, but you have enough ideas to make all kinds of cute stuff with this book. Oh, she's looking now. She's looking at the tape now. Yeah. Did I finally get your attention with the tape? You finally gonna chase it? All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take a piece of 8.5 by 11 and use it to kind of sturdy this up. All right. Then we'll peel off the rest of the tape. And I have to be careful here in this corner to make sure everything's laying nice and flat so I can stick this. I'm going to just take this piece of cardstock and lay it down. No, don't be hurt. Okay. And then I'm gonna just take a piece of dot matrix paper and fill in the last little bit here. Hi, buddy. Hi. You just gonna casually stretch your claws? There you go. Oh, chase activated. Chase activated. Yes, it is still going on. NSD 2020, the sale is still going on. She's just casually coming for the strips. She wanted to seem like it was no big deal. She was just wandering over. She was so casual, but as soon as one of them moved, yeah, she was just going to sneak up on them. She didn't want to scare them. Oh, she's taking them back to her lair. Too cute. Okay. Yeah, she doesn't need me getting in the way of her murder spree. Causing problems. It is so cute. You back for more? You want to kill more stuff? Yeah? You want to kill more things? How cute. It's so cute. Look at it. Tiny Cat, look at this cute thing I made. What do you think? Well, I think this may be the the last of the boop. Of the project. You want paper? Okay. Murder. Mass murder. Mass murder. Mass murder. All right, well, I think on the back, what we would put, the best thing for this one is to cover the whole thing in pattern paper and then to put photo mats on the back. So, you know, to just put photo mats right on the back or journaling spots, whatever. No, she's gone, so we can throw some paper on the back of it. She's off. I guess we got boring. We were like super boring. Just, I know. Don't. All right, so all right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put 1/2 inch tape all the way around the outside. Hey, Tiny. You going back to your box lid? Yeah. She's like, I'm leaving because you're not interesting. I'll be back if you become interesting again. Well, we recently got Tiny a laser pointer. She loves laser pointers. She will just chase it, chase it, chase it, chase it, chase it. She loves it. She has a lot of fun with that. Kitty will kind of, but the problem is Kitty, it's like she knows that we're controlling it. Kitty's a lot smarter than Tiny Cat. Tiny Cat's definitely got like the cute factor cornered, but Kitty's, so she can tell we're doing it, and that somehow ruins it for her. Because she like just looks at us like, what? What do you want me to do? You want me to just chase this? Like, how about you chase it? But Kitty loves, her favorite toy is soccer, these little tiny soccer balls. We got them. She loves them. She loves soccer balls. And Tiny loves, you know, string, laser pointer. She'll play with the soccer balls sometimes, but like she really only wants to play with stuff that has like a tail. Or she has these little mice that have little ball bearings inside them so that when she plays with them it sounds like bones crunching, which is a little bit morbid, but she loves it. Loves it, loves it, loves it. All right. So we've got our little Mickeys on the back. And so what I would do with this is I would put photos on the back. I'm just going to show you how it looks with with the journaling spots. But you could get 3 4x6 photos on the back. And then put a little journaling spot right there. I'm going to leave it blank just in the interest of time because we went over by an hour this afternoon and we're over again. But there we go. All right. So this is the big insert. Now let's just hope it fits. Wouldn't it be hilarious if it didn't fit? And by hilarious, I mean super sad. Yeah, it's a little too tall. It's a little too tall. Now, it's not so tall because this is curved. It's not like the end of the world, but it's a little bit tall. It's just a little bit tall. So you can leave it as is if you want to, because like I said, because we put this curve in the lid, you know, it still snaps, it still closes. It's still just, you know, it's okay. It won't bend, I don't think. It won't bend. All right. Okay, with that, I'm going to leave you to have a wonderful weekend, everyone. Enjoy whatever weather you have. Hopefully it'll be nice weather. I'll try not to smash any more of my tools until I see you again. And when I will return for live classes, I will be working on the Catch a Tag Remastered. So thanks so much for watching. To everyone on YouTube who's been following along with our National Scrapbook Day 2020 Project X Folio, thank you so much for joining us and watching the videos. And I'll see all of you next Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern USA time. Have a great weekend, wonderful evening, good night.